I am one of the Copts he referred to, an Egyptian, a Christian Egyptian of the largest Christian minority in the Middle East, struggling to survive. I think the Muslims have every right to deny women their rights. See how poor ladies did to expose my question is, could Islam, according to the Quran, be redeemed, become a spiritual movement or religion, preaching love, forgiveness, and human rights? Thank you.
You want to address it to anybody? Who wants to take that? Wafa?
I really believe that Islam cannot be reformed. Islam needs to be transformed, not reformed. And it will take fearless Muslim leaders to cause the transformation process.
Well, let me pose, before you clap, let me pose a question for you because we discussed this at dinner. Is it that Islam has to be transformed or reformed, or is it the fact that the Islamic world needs to have a political transformation to separate religion out from the affairs of its state, which Western Europe, which North America, which every other religion and culture eventually came to terms with? So is it religious leadership, religious reformation that's necessary, or is it political reformation that's necessary? Well, political leadership say, okay, mosques, do what you want. And if you go, and you mullahs, if you go out too far on the limb and engage in hate propaganda, you'll be prosecuted under secular law. But we are setting up Western-style division between state and faith. Is that the transformation, or are you really looking for continued Islamic state faith, but simply reformed a bit?
I don't believe there is a difference between Islam and the radical interpretation of Islam. Islam is not only a religion, and that's what the West should know. Islam is not only a religion. In order to be Muslim, you have to believe in Islam as a religion and as a political ideology.
Alan Nodek.
I just wanted to take this.
Islam as a political ideology and faith, I understand Muslim. You can't do
Well,
that.
I was more making the point, is there a political leadership coming out anywhere in the Islamic world that will put Islam aside as a religion and create a democratic political apparatus, and where Islam is out of state politics? But you've answered that question, Alan.
I just wanted to thank Beryl Wiseman, Jack Dim, the Institute of Public Affairs, and these wonderful panelists. This has been a truly amazing afternoon. I just don't understand why the room is so small, why it is not filled with thousands. Where are the television cameras? This has been one amazing afternoon.
To answer your question, Alan, I geared the conference, when Jack and I talked about it, for a couple of hundred opinion leaders, number one. Number two, if you want television, you'll see Nazanin on RDI on French television all day. Barbara Kay will be writing something in the National Post. It'll be there. But it was geared toward people like you, who I want coming out of here feeling angry and feeling mad enough to use your resources to get things moving. This wasn't geared towards the public. I'm not trying to convince the public. So that's why three's put aside. David Harris. David is a very valued advisor to us. He came down from Ottawa for it. He's president of the Islamist Research, everybody should know, and former chief of strategic planning at
If I may say, I'm also senior national security fellow for the Canadian Coalition for Democracy.
Also, it gets too long every time I
strong
think.
supporter of these women who are great heroes to us. Let me say that we've just received word recently that at Georgetown University, a renowned conservative university as it turns out of Jesuit origin, the Center for Muslim Christian Understanding has just received $20 million from a Saudi prince. And the center has just therefore been renamed in the name of that Saudi prince. This follows some other interesting trends, including millions of dollars that have gone to Harvard University, investments by Saudis in Fox News and other such outlets. And a great many people are seriously suggesting that this is an influence operation, as those of us from intelligence backgrounds would have identified such things. I'm just wondering what your reaction is to precisely these kinds of trends and what we might do about it.
This is a major problem in the United States and in the West. They're not only buying American corporations. Saudi money and Arab dollars have right now large shares, one of the largest shares in Citibank Corp, Bank of America, also in Turner Network, which controls AOL. So they're not only buying the media, and also Turner Network, they own Disney, ABC, they've got a huge media infrastructure. Fox News, they own 10% of AOL. Fox News, we were worried about owning 5.4% shares. But the problem is so severe that they are literally trying to control the flow of information to the North American public, just like they are doing they did in the Middle East, because they understand the power in controlling the information. You can shape a new generation into thinking a certain way by literally brainwashing them into giving them messages. It starts very subtle. This problem started happening 16 years ago. 16 years ago, they began with the university. Right now, on American college campuses, I do not know how the structure in Canadian college campuses, but I know in the United States, from the Ivy League universities down to the community colleges, all the Middle East departments and political science departments are set up and financed by petrodollars rolling from the Arab countries, not only Saudi Arabia, but Dubai, Qatar, Arab Emirates, and the list goes on and on, all the rich ones. This is a major influence on the shaping of opinion of the new generation, our youth, going to our universities. We have a problem in America, but you in Canada have a far worse problem than anything we have in America in your university.
Okay, I'm going to start doing my last angry man radio number because I've just been told that we were pressing a time limit on the room, so I'm going to questions and answers split. David, do you mind if I go to the second microphone because it's building up? It's not working. That's terrific. Okay, she's been waiting there. Would you mind if Suzanne just ask the questions from here? It is working? The operator says I can't talk to a radio station. I can't talk to my operator most of the time. All right, it is? And you guys
it is working.
It is working. All right, Suzanne Dirk, the International Forum for Culture and Literature. Literature and Culture, sorry.
Right. Hopefully it will bring peace because of the sharing of ideas. Just what I want to thank you for panelists and tell you that to my knowledge of history of the southern part of the Mediterranean, you really bring out the best. You remind me of some of the women I read about. Kenza, who fought against Islam at the rise of the Deborah and Shahel, if you're looking at the Bible. And there are some other ones, Zainab Zubaydah, and later on, the women in Egypt, such as Dr. Nawal Sadawi, Jian Sadat, and many others. Now, my question is geared to the media here in Montreal. Why is it that I know since 1975 or 1974 that there is a problem within the southern part of the Mediterranean? Nobody here in Canada spoke when people that were either Coptic or Jewish that came to Canada between 1947 and 1967. Not one newspaper. I'm asking newspaper journalists why. Why is it that in 2005 you come around and say, Eureka, we have found one little restaurant that is serving falafel. Well, falafels are here since the 1960s in Montreal, and since 1912 if we go to St. Lawrence Street.
Celine, we've got to get the question.
That's the question. Could you please answer on what we can do?
I'd like to comment about the media, Western media. These are pretty failure because we should have been told by Western media that 9/11 was brewing a long time ago. We have offices all over the Middle East to tell us all the information. The CNN, all our media have offices